mountains if they are around me. There's some out there in the distance. We're in the state of Nevada, of course. I have about 900 more miles to go today. Perhaps I might pull over and, I don't know, take some Z's. But maybe one shot I'll do it. I don't know. Some TMPers have been asking over the last a long time, like 6 years, hey, Nutnfancy, are you still doing van life? Are you living in a van? Part A. Part B, do you still like it? Well, here comes content for you guys. An update. Insight to my real life. Part A answer is yes. I'm still living in a van part-time. No joke. It's been that way forever. The whole time I've been doing the Nutnfancy project, it's been that way. Part B, do I still kind of like it? Yes, absolutely. Since I'm not living in a van full-time, it's great. I think full-time van life is painful. It's not good. You don't have room to store anything. I've talked about this in my van videos. It's not great. But for doing it the way I do it, part-time by necessity, not by choice, I don't mind it. It's my own personal space. It's enjoyable in as much as that I don't have to go out and pay for $200 a night hotel. I have my things I can store, motorcycle gear, tools, camera gear, TMP editing things. And by the way, it's a primary purpose for the van. So I can edit because of my schedule, I have to find time wherever I can to do TMP content. My life is busy, and having a place like a van to edit my videos is huge. Now that brings us to this update, and we're gonna start here inside this van, and then I'll do a walk around, show you the things that I've done on it to prepare. This will be the third van I've owned. The first was a 1989 Ford Aerostar. The next one was a year 2000 Chevrolet Astro van, which I still have and still love and still use and will not sell. And then we have this one. So this is going to be new to TMP Adventures, and more importantly, it's kind of behind the scenes. I need to do more content. If you guys support it, I'll do more content of the van. I just don't think anybody really cares. But it's a behind the scenes support vehicle, and it's been that way forever. The Astro van's been functioning in that forever. Any motorcycle trip you see in California, the helmets, the gloves, the riding suits for different temperatures, of which, and it's been in California, temperatures are insane there. It'll be like 0 degrees up to 110. So I need a lot of riding gear, different stuff, and then all the maintenance things for vehicles, changing the oil, flushing the brakes, all the tools, changing tires. All that has been kept in my van, so it's a behind the scenes support vehicle. Now, I have friends, and I have stored my bikes at friends' house in California. I still do that on occasion. I really don't like doing it. I don't like taking their space up, and the bikes are outside anyhow, so it's a shell game. The bikes are always moving around to where I store them. I have 3 bikes in California, so I do ride year round. I think most of you guys should know that. I mean, I've been very open about it, talked about it in all the motorcycle videos. When Wyoming is all snowed in, Utah is all snowed in, off to California I go, and I can do a ride there. And then Sean the TMPer and I have put together quite a few really fun, epic motorcycle riding trips and put them out there. Poorly supported by the general TMP audience, but I still do them because I like the balance in the project. But these vans have always been supporting what you've seen. So if you're a Patreon member, my content flow is pretty high. It's too high, really. I'm posting too quickly. I'm doing a video every 3 to 4 days. That's a lot. And like tonight, I have to edit tonight in this van, probably the PSA Jackal review. It has to go out because I asked my Patreon dudes if they wanted an actual GRV on it. They said yes. So all the testing is complete on that, and it's going to get out there. And I want to put that video out before the Gen 2 comes out. This is a Gen 1 Jackal. And and if it's not a GRV that's time critical, it's going to be a watch that's time critical, that's going to sell out very quickly. It's going to be a knife that sells out quickly. Everything that I review, it seems like, doesn't last. And since I buy usually on sale, especially for watches I buy, they go boom like that. So I can't wait, like, as I have done and screwed up, like a long time. So the point being, a long explanation, is I need a place to edit like that. It's got to be fast and it's got to be timely, and I'll be uploading via my iPad because where I'm at, I don't have internet access. So I'll just do a hotspot with my iPad and upload like what will probably be, I don't know, a 6 gigabyte file. I'm just ballparking, but it's going to be in 1080p, the Jackal review. Now, this brings us to the E350, and that's what this is. A Ford 2006 E350 Super Duty van. The new van, new for me, in the Nutnfancy project. So this one, as you can see, and I can't really see film myself, but I think it's showing in the back. It's going to have a lot more room than my Astro van did. And the Astro van works and has worked, but man, is it difficult because it's a minivan, and for me to cram in all the motorcycle gear, gloves, boots, several pairs of boots, helmets, like I alluded to, lots of riding gear. It's rough, dude. It's rough. And I don't know if I've told you in this take, but I just broke a laptop in the Astro van. Busted it. How did I do that? Well, everything's on top of everything else. And I was moving around, trying to move to the back, and I pushed against this container and it cracked the screen of my laptop, and I can't replace it. It's not cost effective. I had to just go out and buy a new laptop. And that was kind of the last straw for me. I was like, for the Astro van, at least for editing in it, I was like, I'm not, whoa, speaking of dropping, I was like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm done with this. So I went out shopping for a good used van. I don't want anything new. Can't afford new. And then I'll just fix it up. And so I had in mind what I wanted. I wanted, well, just what you're seeing. Sorry, I'm not doing a good job filming. A cargo van. And this is a no kidding legit cargo van. And it was the city of San Diego that owned this particular van. Now, it came to Utah via a car auction, and there was a dealer in American Fork, Utah that sold this to me. And I found it on KSL.com, KSL Classifieds. Oh, that's cool. You know where I'm at now. That's very noteworthy art there on I-80. And I knew this van was going to go quick. I called him up. I said, hey, I want to come look at this van. By the way, this was clear back in September of 24. Might have been October. I think it was September when I bought the van. And literally, it's January now, the very end of January 25. I've been working on this van the whole time. Again, more behind the scenes work. I mean, working my ass off, prepping this van, getting it to where it was livable. The city of San Diego took very good care of it in terms of mechanical maintenance. So the engine's good, only has like 73,000 miles on it, 72, something like that. The paint was not good at all. There's rust all over the roof because it had a rack on it. The gutters were completely rusted. Horrible. The interior was gross. It needed a lot of work. But the van itself was awesome. I mean, mechanically, it drives fantastic. The engine's in good shape. Not too many miles. It hasn't seen the rough life that many cargo vans do. Most cargo vans are beat to hell. I mean, they are completely abused because they're driven, well, by workers. And it's not their car. They don't care. They don't have time to take care of it. They're loading things in it. Big metal things that scrape, bump, dent, scratch. And I'm particular about my vehicles. I always have been. I don't care if it's this van, if it's a BMW, if it's a Corvette, if it's the Titan. I want my cars nice. Now, that being said, I'm a realist. I believe in using my vehicles in normal wear and tear. Things are going to happen. I understand this. I'm just saying that within my power and my schedule, I take care of my things. Unlike a lot of people. Most people do not take care of their vehicles. But I will give kudos to the city of San Diego, and I'm not sure how they use this van. I don't know if it was like, I don't know, an errand van, but the dealer told me it was the city of San Diego that had it. We had to transfer title from them to me. And that's another good thing, is that this was a California van, so it doesn't have rust underneath it. Another huge thing. I recommend if you guys go out and buy a van or any vehicle, look in California. Like, go to, I don't know if my lenses are dirty. Go to Craigslist. I've used Craigslist many times to purchase, not many, but several times to purchase vehicles in California. And look for a private seller who's fastidious. Now, why didn't I do that with this van? I was thinking about it. I really was. But this one popped up because I had been searching for like a month. Once I cracked my laptop, I was like, okay, that's enough. I was like, I'm done with this. I need a bigger van. And they're not that expensive, so we can swing it. I was going to look in California, but let me say this. This style of van is hard to find. The Econolines, whether it's a 250, 350, like I said, most of them have been commercially used and abused. Many have been junked. This one is, what, 18 years old now, 19 years old. They're not well taken care of. And it's hard to find them. What is out there now is a transit van, and I didn't want a transit van. I think their maintenance is garbage as far as what you have to do for normal maintenance on it. I didn't really like the looks of a transit van. The interior would probably be okay, blah, blah, blah. I wanted this. I wanted a normal Econoline, larger van. Now, I didn't necessarily go out looking for the E350, like the biggest of this era of Ford vans, of this genre, I should say. But this is, I saw it and I was like, well, and by the way, this is standard length. It's not a long E350 Super Duty. But when I saw it, I was like, yeah, I've learned through my van living that bigger is better. Because, you know, I drive it around, sure, and I keep them in good mechanical running order. I do. I drive them around all the time, but its main job is to be a living facility for me and an editing facility for me and an adventure facility. Also, by the way, supporting scuba diving operations. I forgot to mention that. Like transporting tanks, BC, weights, fins, masks, and I expect this one will do more of the same. I have more scuba diving stuff planned, so watch it, support it. Even if you hate it, put the video on, play it, and walk out of the room. Give me a view. So I didn't go out looking for this size, but I wasn't against it either. I guess the downside is this is actually classified as a commercial vehicle. When I tried to register it, they're giving me some static. They're like, we don't have this VIN coming up. It was difficult to insure because I don't know if you need a CDL with this. I don't think you do, but the insurance was difficult insuring it because it is considered a commercial vehicle. I told them what it was, talked with them, gave them all the documentation they needed, and we got it insured. And I just keep liability on it. I don't need anything more. But the roominess of this, I suspect, will be a lot better than the Astro van. And I'm thinking about where that van's going, by the way. The Astro van, I absolutely love that thing. I really do. While it is compact, it does run out of room. Consider, again, and I don't want to enumerate them again, all the things I have in it. Considering how much stuff I have in there, it is amazing that it has been going for 10 years. I think about 10 years, maybe a little bit less, here in the project. It is amazing. I love that thing so much, I never will sell it. At least that's subject to change, I guess, but I just don't want to sell it. Maybe I just store things in it. I don't know. I'm just thinking. But this van that the city of San Diego bought, by the way, is very basic. It's a standard version. It doesn't even have electric windows. It has roll down registers. There's no cruise control. Nope. Let's see. It has basic panel. There's no like multi-function screen at all, and I don't mind that. This is what I like. I like simple. Simple is great. And I have my speaker system running right here, and I use that for TMP. I use it for music when I'm done filming here. This is great. I like normal air conditioning. It's just rotational knobs. Select what you want. It is fantastic. I don't mind that at all. I wish I had cruise control. I looked at installing it myself. I bought an electronic cruise control unit, and a universal type, and it is a nightmare to install. I looked at it. I studied it for days and days. Asked around if I could get it done commercially. They wanted like $1,000, $1,200 plus a reflash from the dealer to install cruise control, and I was like, I don't have the money for that. Not doing it. So I'm using my Mark 1 foot for speed regulation right now, and I'm just pulling 80 is all. That's all I really need to do in this cargo van. I'm trying to see what it gets mileage wise. It's got a V8 gas engine in it. Let's see, I've got 115 miles on it, and I'm down to a quarter tank. That's pretty damn good. Now, as far as I know, I'm not driving in a headwind, but I'm trying not to like punch the gas over. I'm trying to be a cruise control. Very consistent speed. It drives great. It's smooth. It tracks straight. Now, we'll do a walk around. So this video will have two parts. It'll be inside here. I'll show you more of the interior. Show you what me and Mrs. Nutnfancy and Tactical Doodle, he helped too, did in the van. I was going to lower it like I did the Astro van. I love lowering. I think it's better for aerodynamics. It makes it harder for people to steal your catalytic converter. But being an E350, there's really not a lot of lowering options out there. I did find a place that have lowering links. They wanted like $1,300, 3-month lead time. Again, I just thought about it. I was like, no. And I actually like how high this is, practically speaking. Because if someone rear ends me, I put a new bumper on. The rear bumper was trashed. If someone rear ends me, it's going to be right on their hood. That's how high the rear bumper is in the E350. I like that, because that way it prevents them hitting the van, like the doors of the van, and doing a lot more damage. And I don't know. It's going to be harder to get in and out versus the Astro, but I got a stool. It'll be fine. You're going to be laughing when you see how high this thing is. No, it's not a four-wheel drive. It's two-wheel drive. But I think they do that because it's designed to carry a lot of weight. The Super Duty is, and then it's designed to, you know, I'd have to look at the gross GVW on this, but it's designed to carry thousands of pounds. It's basically a Ford an F-350 truck with a van body on it. So that's pretty cool, really. I don't need that weight carrying capability. I won't use it, but I'm just going to stick with the stance right now. While we're inside, I'll show you a couple things I've done. So I tinted the front windows. That's mandatory. I put a sunband. When I say I had a place called Lake Town Speed and Sound. I think that's the name of it. In Draper, Utah, and they are fantastic. They didn't pay me to say this. I think their prices are fair. The quality of their work is amazing. But Lake Town Speed and Sound did the work on it. So we had the sunband put in. I did limo black on that. I like that. That's tinted. I didn't go limo on the sides. I don't know if I really need that. And then I had an alarm installed, and right here. That's because, well, this vehicle is going to be in California and Nevada, sometimes up to Washington and Oregon. But in California, the crime is so bad. I forgot to tell you this, someone did break into the Astro van and they actually tried to steal it. I was at a hotel at the time in California, but they came in through the rear door, they popped the rear lock off. The alarm was on, and I had an alarm in the Astro van, still do. And it was going off the whole time. They did not try to defeat the alarm. And they actually tried to get into the ignition lock. They were trying to start. They wanted to steal a year 2000 Chevrolet Astro van. And by the way, that rig looks sick. It still looks great. I take care of it. I keep it covered, double covered. I take care of all my stuff. But those fuckers tried to steal the van. They did steal some things out of it. I'm surprised they didn't steal more. I do have everything locked down and cable tied to it, like with locks, the important stuff. But I think the main reason is because the alarm was going off. And they were in a hurry, and and the brain to that alarm is tucked way up in there. They were too stupid to know, hey, if this alarm's going off, just pop the hood, get rid of the positive terminal, and it probably would kill the alarm off. I don't think I have a battery backup. But getting to the E350 SD, I have to put an alarm in this too, because it'll have various things in it that are of high value, to include guns, computers, not all the time, I'm saying off and on, and my Skittles. And I don't want them stolen. So yeah, put the alarm in. It's a paging alarm too, so if I ever take this to a hotel, I can go down and cap the guys breaking into the van, catch them red-handed. Really. It's a paging alarm. That's pretty cool. So I did that. Let's see. I put the dash mount on it. That's mandatory. I had to go through like 3 variations of that to find one that worked. So much low quality crap out there. Yeah, but this one's fantastic. It's Dash Mat brand. I think you can see that. And this one's nice because you can Velcro things to it. So I have like skateboard tape on the bottom of this speaker, so it really locks into it. That's another reason the Dash Mat's nice. And I don't think, obviously, when San Diego had this, they were parking out in the sun. There's a little bit of sun damage on there, so it hides that. Let's see anything I can show you here. Oh, this cool rack right here. I'm looking down the road, by the way. I'm not looking where I'm filming really, so I hope I'm doing it right. This cool thing is from the city of San Diego. So they put this very expensive commercial rack in here. How cool is that? There's no way I'm taking that out. Look at that. So it's a separator, and the reason, I think that the reason they put these in these vans is because it protects the occupants, if they slam on the brakes and they're carrying like heavy things, like pipes, boards, steel girders, because if it wasn't for that, if you slam and come forward, and could hurt the occupants. And since it is a civic vehicle, they had a bunch of other, and they still have a bunch of other add-ons, which I think are interesting. They got a commercial backup alarm that you would hear on like a dump truck. It goes beep, beep, beep. I actually like it. I'm leaving that. I'm not taking that off either. I think it's hilarious. They had some other like thing that would tell you how far you were. It's an aftermarket thing. It's pretty shitty. It had like sensors in the back. It would tell you how far you were from things in Chinese, no less. In meters, she'd go 2 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter, and then she'd say it in Chinese. So I got rid of that when I replaced the bumper. And then they have this, of course. They have like these big cables, like these right here. So I think they had either a welding unit in here, probably an inverter, an AC inverter is what I suspect. And it wasn't in the vehicle when I bought it, but they had these heavy gauge, as you can see, those very heavy gauge, whatever, 6 gauge cables. I've decided to leave them in, even though they're heavy. Who knows? They go directly to the battery, so they're hot to the battery. And I don't know, maybe I use them down the road. Now, I don't know if you can see in the back here, but there is one of those solar generators. That's what I edit off of. So for my electrical power, I'm always using a solar generator. I rarely charge it with solar panels because it's so slow. I usually will find an AC outlet and charge it that way, either at a hotel, find one somewhere else. So I'm not really needing those cables that go to the battery for power. And by the way, I do need power. My power requirements, they can be substantial. One of the things I've added is like these small heaters that plug into the AC portion, and those take a lot of amperage. They'll drain my Jackery. What do I have, like an 800 watt Jackery? It drains in like half an hour. This one here is Generac. That's 1,000 watt. I haven't ran the heater off of that, but you may say, well, put the AC inverter back in and then you're not amperage limited, run the engine. But you're right, it would work, but now I'm running the engine and paying for gas. The idea is to keep my expenses very low. And the way to do that is use these generators here. That's how it's done. Now when I say generators, I'm talking like the electric batteries. And for editing, like I have 2 in the Astro right now. For editing, those things are awesome. I mean, I can edit forever. I can run fans when it's hot in there. I can recharge devices, phone, you know, the batteries we use on the motorcycles, like the 10,000 milliamp, 20,000 milliamp batteries. That's what I'm using. I'm not tasking the battery of the van. And that's what I've learned. You don't want to. You don't want to put a load on there when you're not driving the vehicle a lot. If you're driving it all the time, great. You know, the alternator will charge it up. And you may be thinking, well, there's ways to maintain a battery. I do. But sometimes where the Astro and now this van's parked, I don't have an electrical outlet anywhere near it. So I have to use a solar panel for trickle charging the battery, which I do. And then in the Astro, I found out that I had to put a battery disengagement switch on the positive terminal because that one just kept dying. I don't know why. There was some drain on it. I couldn't figure out which one it was. So I actually have a big old blade throw lever that will disengage the positive on the Astro. I might have to do it on this one too. The idea is you want to have your van battery charged up at all times for the vehicle. So anytime you need to go somewhere, crank, start. Don't run your devices off it. That's my approach, and I've been doing this a long time. Especially with these solar batteries, they're so amazing. Why Jackery, Generac, get a really high quality one, and I'll put some links below to my favorite van stuff. Oh, by the way, one of the other things that this van had, I told you it had some rust damage, and it did on the roof. It was not good. But the windshield, around the windshield, was also rusted under the windshield rubber. So I actually had a paint place take the windshield off, sand. And by the way, I used Mako on State Street in Sandy, and they were very good. Not the highest quality, I know, but the price was right. They gave me a decent price. But they sanded under the windshield, and he told me, hey, if we take that windshield out, chances are it's gonna break. And I said, whatever, we'll replace it if and when it breaks, but I gotta have that rust solved. And so sure enough, it broke when they took it out. So there's a new windshield. And windshields aren't that much in terms of automotive things, but it is nice looking through a new windshield, I'll tell you that much. It's nice. Here we are going up a hill. I'm just in drive right now, maintaining 80. Not a heavy load, but it's doing great. Doing great. What a beautiful day for driving. Oh my gosh. Thank you, God. This is awesome. Really nice. I can't believe how good this thing drives. And San Diego put, like, I'll show them to you when we do the walk around. They put like all season radials on this that I don't have to replace. So I don't have to go and find new tires. I didn't have to take them off and balance them. I just love the tires on here. They're great. I did entertain the idea of putting new rims on it, because the rims are, well, they're the ugly commercial rims. But the E350 has a ton of lugs on it. It's its own creature. I couldn't find any cost-effective rims to put on here that would have worked. And then when I decided I wasn't going to lower it, I'm like, okay, why would I put nice rims on it? And you may be laughing, you're like, well, it's a damn van you live and edit in, why do you need nice rims? Again, going back to the principle, I like my stuff nice. And if you look at the Astro, I did that with the Astro. I put on some really cost-effective rims that I got off Amazon many years ago, and they are awesome. They look good, way better than the steel crap that was rusted that was on there. That, by the way, also had lived a very hard life as a cargo van, I think in Navajo, California, because I bought that one in California for a really good price. But it has a ton of miles on it, like a lot. I'm just on a ballpark. I think at this point we got like 180,000 miles on the Astro, and it's still going strong. I remembered when I posted those videos, guys were like, oh man, you need to sell that thing. Way too many miles. And I'm like, it drives great. I just change everything that needs to be changed in it. And I did. The engine itself is awesome. Like, I'm not, and when it blows, I'll put a new motor in it. I'll pull it out myself and put it in. Till then, run it till it blows. And it's been great. Now, I will say, probably in the last couple of years, the Astro hasn't seen a lot of miles on it. Yeah, I don't know how many miles this one will see on it. If like I post my van videos, like this video for instance, and it will go on the Beat channel. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, become a donor to the Nutnfancy project, a paying donor, patreon.com/Nutnfancy. If you guys are super excited about van content, I'll give you more van content. I'll do videos like this. All I'm doing is showing you, I'm raising the cover up a little bit and showing you what I've been doing the whole time. Usually I'm pretty secretive about a lot of things. I mean, for various reasons, but as we've moved on, I'm like, man, maybe I just lift the cover up more and more. I don't know. We'll see, but I mean, I do want to say this though. I don't think van life full-time is glamorous. I don't think it's cool. I think it's dumb. And sometimes people have to do it out of necessity full-time, and I get that. But there's been content creators in YouTube that have gone out and done it on purpose. A lot of girls actually living in vans, and they actually, I think most of them, not most of them, but some of them have finally clued in and decided this is garbage, especially as a girl, as you're driving around the country, parking alone, you know, subject to, I don't know, sexual assault here and there in these more seedier places. I think most, I keep saying most, I think some of them have like quit. They're like, no, I'm not doing band content anymore. There's other dudes, and I don't look this up, I'm just going off memory, having searched it out years and years ago. It sucks if you're doing it full time. You got a knife collection, can't have it in a van. Got a gun collection, can't have it in a van. Got a watch collection, you can have a few, but not very many. You can't have a lot of clothes, very minimal clothes, footwear, like long underwear when it gets cold, very little. You're just living very minimalist. And the only way you could maybe get around that is if you based out of a certain location with your van and you visited it frequently and you had like a big rental storage facility. That would kind of work, where you could swap your stuff out. You could change your knife collection, your watch collection, whatever you're driving around, your clothing, and then maybe even have like a place to crash in that storage facility, or a place from your friends or relatives, a garage area. That would work. But simply living in a van, unsupported, 24/7, 365, no thank you. Could I do it? Yeah, I can do anything. I could do it. And I've lived very minimalistic in my life at times. I mean, without anything, very little. Like when Mrs. Nutnfancy and I were living in Winton, California, when I was going through KC-135 training at Castle Air Force Base, all our household goods were stored. We had moved from North Dakota. We were going to Spokane, Washington. In the meantime, I had to go to 135 CCTS, Combat Crew Training System, whatever it stood for. And we were there the whole time in Winton, California. And it was a nice apartment. It wasn't that bad. We didn't have anything with us. I had my SIG P226. I had my Winchester 1300 shotgun. I bought a used black and white television and hooked it up to my old DVR for Tactical Doodle to watch movies with. Some clothes. We just lived without much of anything. I didn't have, TD didn't have all his toys with him. Yeah, we bought him a few others, but we were very poor back then too. We just didn't have much money. And we were happy as can be. That's the point I'm making. It's like, things don't make you happy. It's not like, make sure I'm still filming. Yeah. It's not like, oh, I didn't have my things and therefore I'm miserable. It's not like that. I mean, your stuff makes your life easier, more adventurous. You're able to do adventures. I'm all for it. But I don't hinge my happiness on my stuff, having lots of stuff. Never have. I can live very minimalistically if I have to. And I just change the way I'm living. I don't need my stuff. I think most of you guys are the same way. I really do. I've talked to a lot of team peers and they say the same thing. They're like, yeah, it's nice. I mean, I like my stuff, but I like the new gun I bought, but it's like, just give me a rifle, shotgun, 22, I'm good. Incidentally, I'll show it to you later, I'm actually traveling with my VBOK, vehicle bug out kit. It is in the van right now. Let's see, do I show you the gun? Nah, I don't show you the gun. I can't show you the gun. This is where we are now, by the way. I hate filming myself, but I don't know if you guys like this view that much. Well, I'll let my speed creep up a little bit. Going for maximum MPG here. Consistency. Well, not maximum. If I was doing maximum MPG, I'd be doing like 70. And you'd have to be a freaking moron to do 70 out here on the interstate. I think it's dangerous. It's a good way to get rear-ended and made unalive. I also put in these seat covers. These are good. I like these a lot. And I did find some that fit exactly for these seats. It took some work. That's nice. Holy cow, look at that. Right in the middle of the road, bro. Holy crap, that's a barbecue. Can't do a Waze report right now because I'm filming. Hopefully no one hits that. That would be a bad day. Let's see, anything else I can show you here? Probably not. Oh, I put this cover on the steering wheel. Very excellent. I love this cover. And I have a radar detector unplugged right now. Not that I need it on this. And just that. One thing I don't like about the standard version of the SD is that it only has one 12-volt outlet, which is gay, but I have to put up with it. And then I'm running my phone off a 10,000 milliamp battery, which works fine. The cups need some work because they're so big. I jammed this big bottle in there because it's one of the few that will stay in. Generally, if you put a bottle in there, you go around a corner, it goes flying off over here. Annoyances so far. There's something squeaking in the back. And by the way, you might be able to see all my astronaut installation that me and Mrs. Nutnfancy did. That was a big project. That was from lessons learned in the Astro, because the Astro van in California will get up to like 120 degrees inside during the summer. It is insane. It's so hot in the Astro van that I've had like the adhesive off Velcro liquefy. First time ever in second gear. That's high drama. I don't know if I like that. That's not like the Titan. The Titan is like really chill. Yeah, so I'm trying to minimize temperature extremes, both hot and cold, and so we spray glue the entire interior with shiny close-cell foam. It's basically window insulation. I had some left over from a project. It seems to be working okay. And the other part, like that fan, that's a motorized fan that I cut in and installed in this van. I'll show you that up close when we get in the back of the van. There's motorcycle gear hooks there. That was a big project. And like I said, it took since when I purchased it until now to actually have it ready to go out to California. How come Mrs. Nutnfancy isn't with you? She has something on her plate. She has several things going on with friends, some appointments she can't miss. TD is also busy working. So is Last Suspect. Last Suspect really wouldn't want to do this. He's not real adventurous. TD would though if he had time. But here's the thing, and I've said this before in the project, if I wait for people for their schedule, I will not get anything done. And that pertains to gun reviews, knife reviews, adventures, car trips, van trips. Nothing will get done. So I just, if I can slot them in, we'll do it. Like you see Sean, the team here, he's been the most reliable crew member I've ever had. Ever. Everyone else has been basically garbage. They're unreliable, they're not available, they're too busy, and it's just more work than it's worth trying to include them. So the only reliable person in the project is me, maybe Sean. Sean's got busier in life too. Yeah. Anything else? I think we'll call it good. That's 45 minutes. Holy cow, this will be a feature-length van content video. By the way, my watch being worn is a Chronologia Pilot, and it is awesome. NH35 automatic. I bought it used off eBay. Super lightweight, carbon fiber case. And when I'm driving like this, I like something lightweight. I don't want a big, heavy watch. Love it, love it, love it. I put this on. That's just like a little stick-on LCD clock. Yeah, I got one here, but I like one over there in bigger digits. Okay, our next point will be pulling over, can't speak, me pulling over somewhere, and I'll do a walk around with you guys, and we'll just look at the van. There's not a lot outside, but I can do a better job showing the inside and stuff at that point. Maybe I do it right here. Yeah, I'll do it right here. Shafter. Here's those tires I was talking about. Look, they're like brand new. Look at that. Great tread on them. Those are Goodyear Wrangler Workhorse HTs on the commercial steel rim with those standard hubcaps, which I really don't mind. And all four of them are on the vehicle. That's a win. I love this to step up. Look at the ride height here in a second. Front tire look-see. Wind kicking up. I'll try to hide the mic, dudes. Do the best I can. I don't have an external mic though, because I forgot about doing this video. So I'm doing it with my iPhone, standard. Looking at the engine, it's good. Really good. There's the alarm installation. I looked at how they installed it, and it's okay. They did a good job. They loomed everything. Good connections. I got no issues. I'm okay if they zip tied that there. That's fine. Battery's good. I have that charged up. This is a 12 volt lead going to the back of the van. It's fused underneath as well. And one thing I don't like about these batteries leads is these are like press on. Yeah, I don't like those. So I'm probably gonna have to upgrade those in the future. They're doing fine now, but I just don't like it. This is my battery tender lead. And I want to show you this. So this is called, I installed this. This is a fused distribution box. So I use a 12 volt relay. I've shown this on my motorcycle mods before, but it's been a while since I've shown you this. So basically the purpose of this is tying in any 12 volt accessory. So you don't have to tie it in at the battery. It just goes in right here. And they're all fused. The only thing I have right here is the driving lights, which I'll show you here in a second. These are awesome though. The Blue Sea fused distribution box is awesome. You can look up how to wire a relay. So I just have power coming over from the battery, routed through here, blah, blah, blah. Anything you want to power, you just go through. And it's switched on power, so it's not on all the time. The Astro, actually, it's Baja Light. I wired directly to the battery, and I just really didn't like it because I didn't want to go through the work of putting one of these in. And I thought I was going to do a cruise control too. That's another reason I put that in, thinking, well, I'll just tie to my fuse box. The only thing in there though is that is the driving lights. So all this was painted. All this looked like garbage. So we sanded and just Krylon spray painted the grill, the headlight rings, and the bumper with Krylon. I didn't Cerakote it or Duracoat it because I just didn't give a crap. And that's good enough. I need to do another coat on it, and it's way better than it looked. That's the stock front bumper as it came. Same emblem. I did upgrade the headlights, and man, was it a chore. I tried these other units, these one-piece units. I could not get them to fit. I couldn't find headlight retention rings that would fit this car. That was a huge project. I finally went with these, and these popped in fairly well. I like these. These are an LED module. Way better than the yellow horrible lights that the van had. And lighting is safety. Speaking of which, these are my driving lights. These are nothing special. They're just cheapo driving lights. I have to jam them against the air dam there. But TD and I installed these, and they're on the stock bumper. Just drilled them in. They're routed up through here into this fuse box, and then the switch for that is right here. Yeah, so that's nice. And by the way, those are not like Baja Designs long throw lights. Those are actually just designed to be fog lights, but just for visibility and driving through the pass, which I will be doing tonight. So we'll be driving over to California, up through Truckee, Donner's Pass. Good time to have good lights up there. That's a dangerous highway. I've talked about that a lot. That's really I wanted to show you here. And the condition of the engine is pretty damn good. Look at the ride height. This is what I was talking about, how high this thing sits. It's crazy high. That's stock height. I'm not saying they raised it. Oh, and then look at this. By the way, I'm wearing my Condor knee pads inside the Condor multicam pants. These pants are insanely awesome. I'll do a separate review on them. Watch for it. Brand new shoes. I just threw my other ones away. I got 3 years out of them. So you see that? Not that. That's a wire. This right here. See that orange strap right there? That is a catalytic converter anti-theft strap. That was another project. The company is called Cat Strap. I don't think it's a very good system. I think it's poor quality. I don't think they included enough things with it. I was able to grind through it in about 40 seconds with a 20-volt DeWalt grinder, despite what they show on their website. But it's something, and in California, they steal catalytic converters all the freaking time. It's better than nothing, so it's in there. This is like sun damage. You can tell they parked this out in the sun. They never covered it. I might put like skateboard tape on there, but the problem with doing that is that over time it will just wear off and it'll just turn into a wreck and you won't be able to peel it off. I'll definitely put some type of coating on it to maybe bring it back to its former luster. Look at the paint though, dudes. Look at how good that looks. Now don't be fooled, this is not a factory quality paint. I used Mako once again. I would say maybe low to medium quality paint because that's all I had money for. But it looks way better than it did. This whole side was scratched up, had rust in it, so I paid to have some dent dent fixing done there. And then this is the other side. It looks great though, right? And it's going to be covered. I'll make sure it's covered and protected so there's not more sun damage on it. I had the other seal replaced. So not this one. This one, for whatever reason, like older Ford vehicles, their parts can be extremely expensive. So that one, they wanted like an insane amount for, like $250 for the seal. And it's one of these I replaced, and it was actually cost effective. And the paint place did. I said, hey, I want to replace that rubber on there. I'm sure you guys are not interested in that at all. Let me show you this. This is really cool. So that's the vent I cut in to the van. And this is huge. This is a motorized air vent. Lessons learned from the Astro. Again, it gets super hot in there. I'm always trying to set up a fan to blow air in there without running the air conditioner of the vehicle, burning a lot of gas. This is motorized, it has remote control. You can vent in, you can vent out, and it's going to be ran by my solar generators, not the vehicle power source. These rain gutters, you can still see it, all the rust damage here, how it's pocked right there. They did some repair on it, but I told them to stabilize the rust and then paint over it, and it's way better than it was. Again, this is not factory quality. You want factory quality? To paint this van factory level or something similar to factory level, you're looking at $10,000. I shit you not, $10,000. I got some bids. One place, like Unique Automotive in Utah, they said, yeah, we'll do it. $8,500, we'll get to it in about 3 months. I was like, no, I can't afford that. No, not doing it. Quick look at the front. And let's go inside. I do have weather mats that I put in here. Husky is a brand, I like them. They're awesome. They're meant to fit the van. And those are mandatory. You have to have them. If not, you get crap everywhere. It's filthy. Look at how clean this is though. I mean, it's not damaged. It's not all beat up. There's some normal wear and tear scratches, but nothing horrible. Get in, loser. Beam me up. Love that patch. Everybody who sees it loves it too. I get comments on it all the time. Quick tour of the inside of the Ford E350 SD. Look at all the cool stickers. Nice. Vaccinate this. Make sure your vehicles have some high personality, especially inside. If you have a van, you should have stickers all over the freaking place. Why not? That's another thing I like about this wonderful partition, is that it gives me an area like an easel for artwork. Yeah. So I'm just like, I don't know, halfway done. I'll sticker that side up as well. I'll probably sticker the walls too as time goes on. You can see that insulation. That's pretty cool. That was a lot of work putting that in, cutting it, gluing it, but I think it will pay huge in dividends for temperature control. I think it'll probably, I'm just guessing, but I think it'll make about 10 to 20 degree difference in temperature, especially in the summertime. I think that's when it's really going to pay off. And then they had this super cool rack in it. Look at this. WeatherGuard brand. We had to sand and paint it. That's why it's painted over. We didn't paint this one. Love this too. This divider is sick. So awesome. Place to hang your clothing. San Diego paid for this, not me. And this was all in here. So I decided to just leave this cool shelf system in. An advantage for just getting lucky. That's all it is. It's just pure luck. Look at that. It has drawers in it. That is so cool, dude. Look at that, drawers. Place for the Jenner arc. I said Jenner rack, but it's basically the same. That's a 1,000 watt, I think. Yeah. Awesome. And you can see how it's tying into my fan right here. Very cool. I'm super stoked about the shelving system. Let's see. I'll turn this on and then show you. So exciting. Let's see. So I turned that generator on, and then let's see if I can do up. I'm still learning how to do this. Look at that. Running off that battery. Isn't that cool? And then you can go up or down. I just pressed the down button. Look at how cool that is. That was a tough project to do, by the way. Very tough. But worth it? Yes, worth it. Definitely worth it. The bed, twin bed, no longer a cot. And it has a real mattress in it. I thank Mrs. Nutnfancy for sourcing it. Finding out about it, we had to grind the legs down because it was too high. It's not the sturdiest thing in the world, but I think it will work. And look at this, a real bed. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so nice. Real mattress. Oh gosh, that's gonna be fun. I got with that, I got a place to edit the videos like I was talking about. There's a motorcycle rack right here. That's tied directly into that upper steel beam. I was gonna go a different route, but I just went with that. You might be saying, well, how is that gonna work with your clothing hanging over the bed? To be resolved. I don't have a good answer for you right now, but we'll see. We'll see how it works. No good answer yet. Some stuff going to Cali. Various crap being stored. This is my toolkit, by the way. Right here. Always travel with a toolkit for sure. More tools going. Yep. And that's, I mean, I'm saying just that that's all there is here, but all this was time consuming. That was hugely time consuming, everything was. Took forever. I want to show you my VBOK just for proof. There it is, boys. Vehicle bug out kit. Right there, y'all. Look at that. It makes me happy having that. Look at this rack right here. We sanded and painted all that. Now, maybe some of you guys or some other content creators in the van life genre will see this and go, well, you should have done this, should have done that. Dudes, I've been living in a van part-time for a long time. This is pared down to the essentials. It just works. There's a chemical toilet that sometimes I will keep between the seats. If I got to take a one or two, I'll use that. That works out well. This is all I really need. I didn't want windows in it. I'm not going to cut a window. I like privacy, and I have window blocks for this area right here. We made these. Actually, Mrs. Nutnfancy made these. So this was an open panel, so she cut this out. I was going to try to put in removable screws. That didn't work, so I just screwed it into the metal. And that is a finishing panel. Headboard. Having a headboard is going to be so nice. Oh my gosh, it's going to be nice. There's my Wilmington, North Carolina sticker. Nice. Veteran I served. Magnet. Guns don't kill people, your driving does. And my coexist sticker. I can't peel it up quite yet because it's so cold. I gotta wait till it warms up because it starts peeling the guns up. And new emblem. The emblem was completely destroyed. New bumper. Nice. And since the Zodiac is no longer in California, I don't need to have a towing capability as of yet. And that's it, boys. Boy, that's feature length van content right there, my friends. The TMP Ford E350 Super Duty coming into service in 2025. How much van content will I do? It really depends. It depends on your guys' support. You know, it really depends. But there's so many content flows I'm doing and trying to survive with. It's hard. I mean, just look. Scroll through. Go to Patreon and scroll through the variety of content I do. Yeah, you guys, you'll see it. I think this is where we stopped one year and I was talking about getting a plane. Wasn't it right here? Getting a plane, a bush plane, and flying into these hills. Nutnfancy, you going to do piloting videos? That's another overcrowded content genre. I need a lot more donors. I've been losing donors. I mean, for me to get an aircraft and start doing piloting videos, I need like minimal 2,000 more donors. If I got 2,000 more donors and they paid $5 every video, the answer is yes, I'd get a plane. There you go. There's your answer. You're so pony up. You go do some cool piloting stuff. I can fly anything. If you have like a tail dragger, warbird, bomber, MiG-21, F-16, I'll fly it all. I can fly all that. I'm not kidding. I can fly anything you got. You sponsor the gas, fuel, and maintenance, contact me on Patreon. Let's go flying. If you have something for long-term TNP content, like a King Air or something, you'd loan me. Now we're talking. Until then, I guess it's a Ford van, some motorcycles. Oh yeah, and the side-by-side content is epic. Gotta go, gotta get back on the road. Nutnfancy project. Thank you for watching the video, for all your support through the years. I told you it's a project. Project means it goes on and on and on and on. As long as I'm healthy and you guys are helping me pay the bills, lots more to come. See ya. Crossing Donner's Pass. This is why I put on the lights that I put on. Very important. So I have my fog lights on, those LED headlights on. A huge improvement over the stock dim bulbs on the Ford E350. I've been working on aiming them tonight, so I've stopped like twice trying to get it just right. You can see that second hot spot. It's like right here. So I think my aiming is right. I haven't had anybody bright me. And then those fog lights are just area light right in front of the truck. I'm sorry, the van. Here we have another 2 diesels side by side. Seems to happen all the time. I just take my time here though. I'm not really in a hurry. That's how you stay alive at Donner's Pass. I'm just doing 70. I'll do 70, 75, and that's about it. I'm not much different on the bikes either. On the bikes, I take it very easy. Drive to stay alive. I had a truck just drift in my lane just a second ago. So these diesels can kill you so quick. Just a quick turn of their steering wheel and you're in that concrete wall. I'm not saying you like be dead immediately, but it's just dangerous. But let me see if I can turn these fogs off so you can see what it looks like without them. So that's without the fog lights. Still pretty good. You can see there's like a shadow there. Worth the cost. These LED headlights for the van were only like $100. Easy to install. They fit right where the old headlights did, unlike the other mod that I bought that was just problematic. I couldn't return those because too much time had passed. So I basically just had to throw them in the garbage. Definitely worth the money. I don't see too much deer action on Donner Pass. Here we are in January, the end of January. I haven't seen any deer lately on this, so that's good. So my goal is probably to drive probably another 200 miles tonight and then just pull over somewhere and sleep in the back. Look at that dude's light right there. It's stuck on bright. I think everybody cuts everybody some slack in Donner's Pass. Like if you're not too close to traffic, some people turn their brights on. Sometimes this concrete wall gets higher. That guy's awfully bright. Because, you know, people are just trying to see what's up ahead. Stay alive. That's all you're trying to do is stay alive. Anywho, I thought I'd show you these lights in action. Pretty important, really. Whether you're talking motorcycles, vehicles. The newer vehicles have really good lights on them. You shouldn't have to retrofit them. Really super bright LEDs. But if you have an older vehicle like this, you might want to think about upgrading. Van update.